I still have the spark plugs in. So we need to turn the engine to, remember, that neutral position of the pistons. So I just turned the crankshaft to quarter turn. Half turn would get it about halfway in the cylinder, so now it should turn there. No longer hitting a valve, or valve's not hitting a piston anymore. So it should get full 360-degree rotation. And that cam, this cam, got caught in there. So both cams turn a full 360 degrees. So we're good. Then we can set our valve latch. We can also set our valve timing. We'll need this for that. Valve timing on a Ford uses, I'll have you look that up. Valve timing on a Ford uses, I'll have you look that up, uses these three tools. A bar, flat bar, 2 pins, different lengths for different engines. We'll figure that out when we get there. And this little bolt goes in the balancer hole. Remember we talked about that early on. You left that in there, you're going to destroy the timing cover. This is that bolt. There's happened to be one in the tool kit, so we're ready to go. So we're going to start with this. This is what we need to start with. This goes into some slots. In the back of the camshaft there are some slots. So I'm going to turn that, demonstrate. Right here, this bar goes right in that slot. When both cams are timed, this bar will slide into both slots at the same time. The slot is offset, so that when it's turned, it only allows the bar to go in one way. So I now have it. Okay, yeah. So the slot is parallel with the top of the cylinder head. The bar will not go in. If I turn it 180 degrees, then the bar should go in. That's the way they made it, so you can't have it wrong. Here I am at 180, and the bar goes in like that. Now we have to get the other bar turned, or the other cam turned. You can see by looking at it, it's off. This little slot is down below the surface of the head. So we're going to turn that one, and hopefully, and when they're right, they're right. It goes in really tight. Then sometimes even a slight little tap, but you usually have to hold the cam. If you're lucky, they'll slide in. We know that one goes. This one needs just, because of partially trying to open a valve, you have to hold it as you tap it there. I was able to do it without tapping it. Now, the cams are timed. So the next step is to set TDC. Now at this point, if we look down through here, we have no valves opening, so we can get our TDC. Everything's on this one's on an opening ramp, so it's probably going to have a piston down. We're talking about number 1 cylinder. It needs to be a TDC compression stroke, which it would be because we have both lobes on both cams up, means they're both on the base circle, which means all valves are closed on number 1 cylinder, so we can do our, we're at the end of compression stroke, or should be, and ready to fire the spark plug. For this portion, using these, a long one and a short one. We use the long one on this engine. This is for, I think, a V6. So we're not using that one. We have to take this plug out right here. And we put number 1 cylinder at TDC. I didn't take the spark plug out, so I got to do that. And just set it fairly accurately. So we set our TDC. What I did was drop this plastic rod. You can use anything. Drop it in the cylinder. I'm going to turn the crankshaft, and I'm going to watch that rod go up and down. It just went down and stopped. It needs to go up. It stopped because it probably has a valve open somewhere. So there, it stopped moving. I'll go past it so you can see. Now it's going down again. And it stops. So you don't want to force it. So up until it stops. And you'll see it. It stops, moving right there. Now that piston is at TDC. So we're ready to go. Number 1's at TDC. Then we install this in that hole. Looks like I was wrong. The short one. That holds it in place. What that does is butt up against one of the counterweight on number 1 cylinder. Holds it in position. So now we have the cams are timed with TDC of number 1 cylinder. You can have TDC in any place when you're rotating just the block itself. It doesn't become TDC compression until you have the cams on. What I wanted to do today was show you what this is doing. Remember we set TDC by using a piece of plastic in number 1 cylinder, rotated the crank until it got all the way to the top and stopped. And this is how we got close on our TDC. And then to hold it in position, that's what these pins are for. Then I put in the wrong one again. So it's the short one that we need. The kit comes able to work on 2 different types of engines. And so that goes in there, but what I wanted to do is show us what happens inside, what actually holds that. The crankshaft, I've already experimented, will not turn. So we're going to rotate this engine here, look at the counterweight. Oh, there it is. It doesn't quite touch the counterweight. It's very close to it.